Without wasting time, let's begin. Number 10. The compass. Imagine being lost in the wilderness with nothing but a spoon to guide you. In ancient China, compasses were literally magnetized spoons floating in water, known as south-pointing spoons. They pointed south instead of north, but they kept explorers and even jade miners from walking in circles. In other words, the compass is basically the world's oldest GPS, long before satellites or smartphone apps existed. Number 9. Paper. Hold on to your pencils because paper has a surprisingly ancient origin. The earliest scraps of paper date back over 20 years, but in 105 AD, a Chinese court official named Kai Lun perfected a method of pounding tree bark, hemp, and old rags into a smooth writing material. Before that, people wrote on bamboo strips, animal skins, or wax tablets. No disposable notebooks. Kai Lun's invention made books portable and cheap, so suddenly knowledge could spread beyond palaces and monasteries. It let ideas leap out of the hands of scholars and into everyone's hand. Number 8. The printing press. Fast forward to the 15th century, Gutenberg showed up with a heavy wine press and decided to crank out books. He printed the Gutenberg Bible in 1455, the first big book to be mass-produced with movable metal type. Suddenly, books were no longer hand-copied treasures but things anyone could afford. It was basically history's first copy-paste. Information that once lived in one library could appear in dozens more overnight, sparking a literacy boom and an entire information revolution. Number 7. The wheel. You might think the wheel was invented for cars, but early wheels were actually for pottery. Archaeologists found clay potters' wheels as early as 3500 BC, long before carts or chariots existed. People didn't try putting wheels under vehicles for a few centuries. By now, the wheel has been called the most important invention of all time. With wheels, we got cars, trains, and Ferris wheels without them. Everything would just have to slide instead of rolling. Number 6. The light bulb. Before the 1880s, nighttime was basically an endless cave of darkness. Edison changed that by obsessively testing filaments until he got a bulb that stayed lit for 14.5 hours. He bragged, "My light is at last a perfect one," and people flocked to see his lab glow through the night. His long-lasting bulb meant we could finally read books or have evening dance parties without burning our eyebrows off. The age of electric light was born, and suddenly darkness became optional. Number 5. The refrigerator. Today we take ice cubes and cold soda for granted, but keeping food from spoiling used to be a serious problem. In 1748, Scottish scientist William Cullen used a vacuum pump and ether to create the first man-made ice. It was a lab curiosity, but it proved that freezing things was possible. By the 1800s, people had iceboxes, and by the 20th century, modern fridges arrived. This chilly innovation drastically reduced food waste and killed off epidemics of rotten stew. Today, your leftovers stay fresh and bearable for days. Number 4. The telephone. It's hard to imagine now, but once people had to physically carry messages or shout across rooms. Alexander Graham Bell changed that in 1876 by inventing a device that could send voices over wires. His first call to his assistant Watson was the famously awkward line, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." Within a year, Bell had a whole company. Ironically, he later refused to have a phone in his own study, fearing it would distract him. Today, of course, we might secretly envy him a phone bring friends, news, and help right into our pockets. Number 3. The personal computer. In the early 1980s, computers meant giant mainframes. Everything changed when the PC was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year in 1982. Suddenly, personal computers for homes and schools were possible and affordable. We went from punch cards and command line interfaces to clicking icons on a color screen. Personal computers unleashed the digital revolution, making video games, the internet, and streaming cat videos possible, putting a powerful computer on every desk and eventually in every pocket. Number 2. The World Wide Web. This isn't a physical gadget, but it's one of the biggest game changers ever. Tim Berners-Lee invented the web at CERN in 1989 to help scientists share information. A few years later, he made it free for everyone, and it exploded. The web turned on-demand shopping, instant video calls, and the world's knowledge into reality. Suddenly, you could learn guitar at midnight from someone halfway around the world. It's like he built a giant virtual library and marketplace that fits in your browser. Number 1. The smartphone. This might sound obvious, but consider every smartphone is a supercomputer in your hand. There are now more smartphones on Earth than there are people, and each is more powerful than the moonlander's guidance computer. An iPhone 5S has over 15,000 times the processing power of the computer on Apollo 11. Your phone is a camera, map, game console, and TV, all rolled into one. It's basically the Swiss Army knife of gadgets. No wonder we carry them everywhere. The smartphone has truly connected us in ways we never imagined. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this ride through history, hit subscribe for more videos about everyday objects that quietly changed the world. I'll see you next time.